In today's video, I want to give you guys a mindset shift. I want to give you guys the ability to be able to diet for a long period of time. And I'm going to explain to you how you can start to be able to diet for a long period of time, especially in the beginning, so you can get the body that you want. See, when I first started to diet and I first started to try to eat right, it was difficult. Like it was, it was difficult. Like for the first 2 years, I would do good for 1 day, do good for 2 days, do good for 3 days. And then after that, I would slowly get eroded, eat some bad food, and then go right back to the bad habits of eating that I was eating previously that got me out of shape. And I was doing this, it was a seesaw for about like 2 years. And then eventually, me being so frustrated of fucking up repeatedly with the diet all over again, that frustration with myself allowed me to overnight say, fuck it, from this day forth, I'm gonna start dieting. And then I got it right. I got it right 1 day, then 2 days, then 3 days, then 4 days. So I understand the mindset shift in what happened for me to be able to just automatically overnight diet for a long period of time to get results, which I'm going to explain to you in this video. Now, the reason why it's so difficult, it's very difficult because we're retraining our eating habits from eating previously all our life. So when I was 25, when I first started to get right, so from about 15, when I started to work a job and I started to buy my own food, right? From 15 all the way until about like 25, 26, I developed bad habits of eating junk food late at night, going to Key Food, getting Hershey's, getting ice cream, having pizza for breakfast, things of that nature that got embedded in my eating habits. So what happened is, from me eating like shit for so long, the resistance to try to eat in a controlled way, it's gigantic. Like the resistance is gigantic. So that's why when we try to diet, it's so difficult because we're going against our previously eating habits of eating whatever we want. Like just the mindset of just eating whatever you want to eating specific foods, that alone is difficult. Because now we're trying to control a habit and our desires of wanting like sugary, nice shit in a controlled way, which is difficult. So again, to reiterate, that's why when I first started to diet, I started to fuck up because I'm going against that. My natural urge to go out and get some Chinese food is bigger than the urge to eat something that's healthy, that's going to give me the body that I want. So what it takes is, it's like a rocket ship, right? We have to be so aggressive in the beginning of our diet for us not to slip back into our old ways, because one slip up could put us back in the momentum in the wrong way of eating bad food. And now we're going right back to our old ways that feel comfortable within us because we've been eating like that for so long. That's why it's so delicate in the beginning. So it's like a rocket ship. When a rocket ship blasts all the way up into the atmosphere, it uses like 80% of its fuel just to break out the atmosphere. But once it's in space, it's just cruising. So how does this relate to our diet? We have to be so aggressive in the beginning to override those impulses to the point to where it's just like a month later down the line that is so automatic that we don't have that resistance to go against our goals of getting the body that we want and eating shit food, right? So now, how do we break this habit? It's more of a mindset shift. I can't force you to make the right decision when it comes down to the food that you want to eat. I can't do that. That's something that you're going to have to fight within yourself. But this mindset shift is so simple, right? It's so simple, but it's going to help you understand how to avoid slipping back into your old ways when you're trying to diet. Yeah, you're going to mess up, but just putting this to the front of your mind is going to help you when you mess up continue to move forward, because you'll understand how this works. So, how? God damn, it's hot. I just literally left the gym to record this. So, when I finally got it right and I started dieting, when I started to diet the proper way, I realized that what I was saying to myself, or what I understood, was the meal I have now is the next meal I'm going to have. I'm going to say it again. The meal I have now is the next meal I'm going to have. How is this important, or how does this make sense? And it's because when I first started to diet and I didn't have this mindset, I'll be like, you know what? I'll start next meal. I'm going to have a big ass bowl of Chinese food and I'll start next meal. The next meal comes. Then I'll start next meal. Fuck it. Then the next meal comes. You know what? I'm going to start tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes. You know what? I'm going to start tomorrow. And then that tomorrow comes. You know, I'm 3 days already fucked up within the week. So now let me start next week. Then next week comes. Then fuck it. You know what? I'm going to start next month. And then eventually what happens is we know we're bullshitting with ourselves. Deep down inside, we know we're full of shit when we say this. So every time that we kick the can down the road, we chip away at our confidence that we can actually do this. So the more that you kick it down the road, the more we know that we are bullshitting with ourselves. So 2-3 weeks down the line, we feel so guilty that we said we was going to diet and we didn't, that we give up. So you eventually quit. So to bring it back to the mindset, I would have that meal, then I would have another shitty meal, then another shitty meal, then another shitty meal. So to go against this, and when I finally got it right, I understood the meal that I have now is the meal that I'm going to have next time. So I would, when it's time for me to eat a meal that is directly catered towards my goals of getting the body that I want, I will make the right decision. And then now the next time that it's time to make the right decision, it'll be easier because I made the right decision last time. And then the next time I make the right decision, right, to eat something that's catered to my goals, it'll be easier. So it gets easier as time goes on, because I understood the meal that I'm having now is the next meal that I'm going to have. So if it's shitty now, it's going to be shitty then. And why do we do this, right? Why do we kick the can out the road? Why do we say, hey, our diet is going to start Monday, and then we kick it down the road? And it's because it's uncomfortable. We already know that it's very uncomfortable going against our impulses to eat something that is more healthier towards our goals, because we know it's going to be a struggle with ourselves, a tug-of-war struggle with ourselves to get us to eat right. So we avoid that discomfort by saying next meal, next week, next month, next year, whatever the case is. But a day is not going to make your impulses stronger, right? So if I say tomorrow, I'm going to start tomorrow and I'm going to do the diet tomorrow, like 24 hours is not going to help me be strong enough with myself to choose the right meal over the wrong meal. It's more of an internal thing. Like the day has nothing to do with it. So that's why, again, to reiterate, when we say tomorrow comes and then we still feel impulsive and we make the wrong decision. So the solution is, I want to keep going on because it's hot as hell in this car right now. It is hot as hell. So in conclusion, just understand what the meal that you're having now is the next meal you're going to have. And what's going to happen is over time, you're going to develop momentum in a right way of you eating the healthy food. And then it's going to become automatic eventually. And then 2 months down the line, 3 months down the line, you're not even going to have that impulse to really eat the shitty food, because you're going to start looking in the mirror and seeing the results of you eating in the correct way, which is going to feel more better than you eating that shit food. So I hope this video was helpful, and I will catch you guys in the next